All right. Hello, everybody. This is the voice of Sheila James, and I'm here with Sherry Danzig from Nikken, and we're about to do a demonstration in the home of Sheryl Burke. We also have Dean here on the waterfall system. It's my new way of having water that I drink. And, I love my water. That's what I say now. I just love my water now. So I'm going to turn it over to Sherry and we'll make it quick and succinct and hopefully answer any questions that may come up. All right, Sherry.
Sure. So this is the Nikken waterfall, and it is, I think without a doubt, the best way to drink water, and water is so important. The best way is to filter it yourself. So a lot of people are leaning towards bottled water, and I can say just across the board, it's very difficult to get water that's truly good in a bottle. It's bad for the environment. It's very expensive. And it's suspect as far as whether it's really what they say it is and whether the bottling process is contaminated good water. If in fact it is good water, the bottling process oftentimes contaminates it. There's been big studies that have proven that. So, but we're going to focus here on this waterfall and why it is special. So we want to be succinct. So first of all, this system is called a Pi Mag system. Pi means living. The company Nikken started their roots in Japan. And so the real deep studies, the understanding about water and why there's significance in different aspects of water is not really being studied in this country. It is in the East. And there are books about water. And so this water is designed not only to really filter the water very well, it's also about what you put back into the water. And that's really what this company's philosophy is all about. It's about reconnecting us to Mother Nature. And that's very significant with this water system. You're going to hear why that is. But all of the products are all about bringing Mother Nature back into our everyday lives, because Mother Nature, it knows best, truly. And so what the beginnings of this water was that they studied why in certain areas of Japan that the plants were flourishing. And botanists got very curious about it. And that was the discovery of Pi water, which they looked at what was indigenous in that area. And they've literally recreated it in this waterfall. So again, this is a really good filter. And there are other filters out there that do a good job of filtering, the same basically of filtering. For instance, a reverse osmosis system is a very good filter. However, what you're left with is dead water, because a filter, this one or any other one, takes out everything. It doesn't know to leave the good in and just take out the bad. So it filters out. If it's good, it does a good job of taking out all of the stuff that we don't want to drink in our water. However, this system, like I said, is putting things back in. It's restoring the water to like Mother Nature's water. How does it do that? Well, first you start with tap water. So we just fill this up with tap water. And you can maybe see here, this is a cartridge, and it's very, very dense. It has activated carbon. It has ceramic material. It has a salt that again came from the Pi water. And this ferrite salt naturally ionizes the water. Ions means charged particles. So the water, that's where it gets its living, part of where it gets its living qualities. And that you can feel the difference. You were talking about feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee that when you drink this water, you feel different. And that's pretty cool when you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
The water is then, it goes through and it's ionized. It's pH balanced, partially because of the material in the filter, partially because alkaline water is high in minerals. This has 17 trace minerals in the mineral stones. Then it goes through, as it passes through this reservoir where it's getting the minerals, it also passes through a magnetic field. This company is known for their magnetic advanced technology. They're the top in the world in magnetic technology. And when you magnetize water, you are declustering the water molecules. So instead of drinking water that makes you feel full, instead of it feeling like it's kind of glugging around in your stomach, which that's happened. I've drank so much water. I've kind of made myself feel nauseous. So if you've ever felt like filled up from drinking water, it's not getting absorbed. This water, I always ask them, because it's not a room of people experiencing right now, we're talking to you through Zoom, But the word that people say all the time when I do big presentations is smooth. The smoothness comes from that declustering. And why that's important is that it hydrates better. We don't want water, we just drink a whole bunch of water and then we just have to go to the bathroom all the time. You want water that your body can actually use. It's more bioavailable. So it gets filled up here. You dispense it either like this, or you can push it in like this. Now, I'm not a chemist, so I can't do all the big tests that some of the chemists do when they do these big studies. But there's two things I'm going to show you to test. And the first is pH. And these drops are simply, I got into a swimming pool kit. So you can do this yourself. You can test your water, test the pH, because most water is acidic. Most people's diets are acidic, and acidity in the body creates stress. It's the beginning or the cause of inflammation. And inflammation is really the cause of just about every disease that we get that we don't want, right? So if you can reduce the acidity, you can help reduce the inflammation. You're going to be better, feel better long-term. This is amazing preventative health. So what I'm going to do here.
Sherry, can we stop? So
Yes,
before you do that, can we see if Dean or Sheryl have any questions so far?
absolutely.
So that's the Nikken.
So
Any
this
questions
one-
so far? Bert?
Did you say one of the concerns about water is that the container that it's in?
The bottling process itself. They find that the bottling process can create contaminants. It's not, we know about BPA. We've heard lots about BPA being, a contaminant. It's a modulator. It affects our hormones, particularly with women. It affects our hormones, but it's not just the chemical. There are some bottles out there that are BPA free, but most are not. But the bottling process itself can be contaminated. We've found arsenic and other heavy metals, microplastics from the bottle. It has to be the bottling process.
So what
Okay.
would be the difference between the machine and, contaminants getting in there from that?
Because those machines are producing billions of bottles. So in that
I
whole
mean,
process.
this machine.
So this machine here is first of all, it is a plant-based plastic. It's a plastic that does not produce there's no chemicals in it. So it's a safe plastic. These are not, these are inexpensively produced. These plastics stay in the landfill for 500 or more years. The water bottle that I'm going to show you at some point here, we'll do a little quick demo. This is the Nikken equivalent, because this is convenient. People buy this because it's convenient to grab. But this is another product that is a filtering water bottle. The filter is here. So it's a big, thick filter. This band here is the magnet. It has coral calcium in the filter. So it's pH balancing the water. It's not adding all the minerals, but it's adding one mineral. It's magnetizing it. And it has the material to ionize. So it's kind of like a water system on the go. This is, again, plant-based. When you stop using this bottle after about 3 years, so now you change the filter every 250 times, but the bottle itself lasts for 3 years. When you dispose of it, it's gone within a year. It's actually breaking down and giving back. It's a healthy plastic.
Which plants?
It's expensive to produce.
Which plants are they made of?
I don't know offhand. I'd have to look that up. What plants are they made of? I couldn't tell you. I just know it's plant-based, but I can find that out for you. Okay, so we're gonna just take these drops here.
You know what would be great if we could test the child water, because
Absolutely.
I would not drink, you couldn't pay me to drink that water.
You mean bottled water?
No.
The Donnie.
But yeah, that's.
I mean, that's.
So this is when it's pink, if it's a pretty fuchsia-like pink, that's the sweet spot. So the pH that is considered universally what we want to drink is between 8.5 and 9.5. When it turns yellow like this, that's extremely acidic. So I did the smart water because this is one of the better ones. It's not that smart, but it is not, it's not as dumb as Dasani.
What are the pH levels? So this one would be what? Do you know?
Oh, this is in the 5s.
Fives and
Likely. So this here is probably, it's probably in the 6s. It's a little bit better.
And then
And then we're gonna do drops here.
Oh, you want to put it in front of the camera?
4, 5. You can, well, you saw me drip it, but you didn't see me.
Oh, that's the camera right here. I'm sorry.
And actually, that's not very great. That means I have to change my filter.
Oh,
This has been my loaner system and it's been out for a little while. So it's definitely, I don't know if you can see here. It's not, it's honestly, I'm going to show you this is a better example. So when I put my water here, that's what
oh
we want it
yeah.
to be.
Yeah,
So,
that's how mine looks.
yeah.
So the Nikken is supposed to be 8 to 9.
8.5 to 9.5. Yes.
So, but so,
Let me say something about the filter. You mentioned the filter, and every 3 to 4 months, you need to change the filter.
Yeah.
So what she's saying is this is the one she lends out, and the filter needs to be changed.
So it's still filtering. So
Mhm.
if the filter will go 220 gallons. But the challenge is after the filters goes past the 3 months, 4 months, it starts to lose its pH. So this came from the water bottle. I'm just going to do this from the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I apologize that I didn't do this earlier. Because it
Yeah, 'cause
obviously
that's
the
how
filter
mine
needs
looks.
to be. Yeah, so
Mhm.
this is what it should be, and it's guaranteed to be this pink, this alkaline for the life of the filter. Some people stretch it out a little bit. They'll go maybe 4 months. I wouldn't go past that because you'll start to lose the pH. Okay, so here's the pH test.
Hold on, let me just say one more thing. And you said the how many gallons? 220?
Yeah.
Now, somebody like me in 3 months won't use 220 gallons, but a family or you,
Right.
she's a chef, you would probably use, that amount. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why some people will go a little bit longer because they're not a family of 3 or 4 or 5 that they're maybe drinking as much water. Okay, we're going to do one more test here, and that is with the.
She wants you to try that one too.
Okay, let's do that. This water here. Can I just pour it from here? I think. And this is what kind of water?
It's an alkaline.
well, this one is
So you like this delivered? Or
this one is the reverse osmosis.
Oh, it's reverse osmosis.
Well,
Or we should get, let's
I don't
try
think we
that.
have any of the Charlotte.
So 5 drops. 3, 4. So
Mhm.
not bad. It's not quite at 8, but it's probably in the 7 state, probably, or not 8.5, but that's actually pretty good in terms of the color.
Mhm.
So that came from,
It's a reverse
Reverse
osmosis.
osmosis.
okay. Well, there's something to it because our water is typically not alkaline.
Well, so about the alkalinity,
It's changing some.
what you're saying is that one will drink an 8 to 9 pH at all times.
Yeah.
But that's also really damaging to the stomach flora.
Well, I don't think so. I think when you drink water that is high in, we're gonna get some tap. You don't have a filter in your tap here, do you? Okay, so we're gonna do one more test here. So it's when you start drinking water that is, when you start drinking water that's up in the high, like in the 10s and 11s, that's what my research has shown. You can drink water that's too alkaline. The body doesn't want to be alkaline. The body wants to be at homeostasis. And so it's the sweet spot considered universally is between 8.5 and 9.5. That's my information. Okay, this is going to test how quickly, this is chlorine tester. And so we're testing the chlorine in tap water. So if it turns yellow, there's a lot of chlorine in it. So we're just going to put this over here. We're going to put 5 drops.
Can you boil out the chlorine?
2,
Can you
3, 4.
Can you boil out the impurities of water?
When you boil water, you make it more, you make some of the chemicals more concentrated and more dangerous. So it's actually not a good idea to boil water. That has a lot of chlorine in it. You can see it's very yellow. Okay, so there's 2 ways we could do this. We could put, I don't know if you have any celery or cucumber. We could use a food item. You have some cut celery? Okay, we'll do this a second time. First, I'm gonna put my hands in it. This is really going to be more of a testament to why you want to have a filter on your shower, because we're putting our skin in it. But well, we'll do this first. Okay, so we have celery here, some cut celery. And I'm gonna put the celery in here and I'm gonna count to 10. And I'm just stirring the water in. Okay. And then now I'm gonna put the drops in. So this one just had the 5 drops, it turned yellow. We put the celery in this one first. So the celery didn't absorb all of it, but it's definitely, it already started. No, well, it is turning back the same color. Cucumbers, it works. Cucumbers, it sets it up and it doesn't turn. But let's do this. The celery doesn't want to. I'm gonna put my hands in this water. Okay, now we're gonna put the 5 drops in. 1, 2, 5. And this is what I see when I've done this test with, I've done a cucumber and I've done a potato. I've not done the celery before, so maybe that's just denser. Lettuce also. So the only difference with this is that I put my hands in this first, and you can see the difference. I like it when it's a contrast. You can really kind of see the difference in the demo. This is speaking to how quickly the chlorine is absorbing my skin, and the water is not hot. So when you get in a hot shower, your pores open up, and of course your skin is your biggest organ, and your body absorbs the chlorine. It's not just chlorine that's in our tap water. There's fluoride, there's pesticides, there's herbicides, there's trace pharmaceuticals, there's all sorts of toxins, lead, all sorts of things that are in tap water. The same reason you don't want to drink it, you don't also want to shower in it. So there are links to different kinds of cancers that you're higher, more likely of getting when you don't filter your water. This is one of our shower filters. It's just very simple. You just hook it up. I had my bathroom renovated about a year ago, and it's a very fancy shower. We didn't have a fancy shower. Then we have a fancy shower. And I bought the whole rain, thing, the whole system where you get the kit with the nice faucet, the rain. This went on. The rain shower thing went into my closet when we moved. I'll put that on there, but I don't care. It doesn't look aesthetically as nice as a fancy shower. But this takes all the impurities out of the water that don't go in your skin. It doesn't go in your hair. And not only the filters here, but within this, the head itself, it's pushing oxygen and oxygenates the water. They're called microbubbles. And so it's really hydrating for your skin and for your hair. So this is an example of the shower filter. And this tells you why you want to filter your shower, because it's just so quickly. It's like if you don't work with chemicals, your 10 minutes of a shower, a good hot shower, is the most toxic thing you probably do all day long. So there you go.
Ooh, that yellow.
Good information, hopefully, on why to really look at the quality of water that you drink and that you bathe in. It is, I think, most bangs for your buck. You invest in this water system, it's less than $500. Depending on what kind of water you're buying. The cheapest water I've seen is like maybe 80 cents a gallon, and that's like the real cheap 40 bottles at Sam's Club. This, once you pay for the water system, it's 25 cents a gallon. So you're getting really, really good quality water that you can trust. It's not putting all the plastics into the environment for 25 cents a gallon. The expensive water, I don't know, do you know what you pay for this for a gallon?
It's about $4 for 5 gallons.
Okay. So even that's, which is a good deal. I've seen the individual bottles that you can get, like Essentia, some of the higher end bottles that might be, there's certainly better bottled water than some like the Dasani, but those work out to be $6, $8, $10 a gallon. This is 25 cents a gallon. You can't buy a bottle, any kind of size, for that cheap.
No,
and
I
get
did the
something
math on my water and my system will be paid off in 3 months of what I do every month because I also cook with alkaline water. And I was buying gallons from what's the store? Sprouts, because they always have buy one, get one. So I'm thinking I'm getting a deal.
Yeah.
But I get the gallon water and then I would get my other water from Publix. And they were $7.99 for 32 bottles, and it went up to $9.99. And the last time I went to the store, they went up to $10.99 because people buy that water. But when I did the math, it's night and day in terms of the cost. But one thing, the other piece is, I just love my water now.
Yeah, you can feel the difference, you can taste the difference. It's convenient, it doesn't require electricity. The closest system that does all the things that Nikken's does to ionize, to mineralize, to pH balance, to purify the water, and to microcluster the water. There's really not another system that does all those things and does it naturally, but they're $4,500 to $6,000. This system is less than $500, so it's a good deal.
One more question. Did you talk about the rocks or the, oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
Minerals
Okay,
that are in the minerals themselves. I mean, they're natural minerals. They've put them together. They're man-made to put them together, but they're natural minerals. They're not formulated, manufactured minerals themselves. Are natural minerals. That's all for now. Let us know what questions you have. Talk to Sheila. There's a link she can send you and you'll get free shipping. It's a great system. We can
Thank
answer
you.
questions that you have. And if you're interested in the shower filter and the water bottle and the waterfall, there's a special pack on that too. So that's another option to go to. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Sheryl, where's the recording?
Stop recording.
So the minerals are in there to lend minerals to the water,
Uh-huh.
but not to pull anything out.